For anyone doing the OPAS Delete on their SeaDoo, I ordered a eBay kit. Just came with the plates and a couple spacers for those plates. So far, really good fit. I've done one side, so you'll notice this is the front, or sorry, the passenger side. And I want to share a couple things. So removing the system itself, not too hard to do. You're just really essentially removing all four bolts here, and my flap was already broken off. But what I did to get my other flap off to make it easier to get those four bolts off is on the bottom end, I got a flathead and I just pushed it. I put pressure against the whole unit this way, and I gently pushed that flap out, and then it let me pop it out. So I hope that makes sense. It'll just slide right up off this once you've popped it out of its socket. Now, once you remove that piece and you have just nothing here, there's going to be a small little screw in between here. What that's going to be doing is it's going to be holding a plate on the back end, the inner end of this jet ski, holding a plate with threads that these are able to thread into. So what you need to do is, I noticed the instructions for another site said do not remove this, and they are right, don't remove it because it will fall. So what you have to do is just start with threading. What I did was I had everything removed here. Before I remove this thing, first of all, remove all the glue. It's just going to look like a very clear glue. It's going to be all over it. Before you remove this, thread this upper end first, and then thread the whole plate on. Let me show you real quick. Apologies. Okay, so the unit's on like this, okay? So what I did was I threaded that top end, I just put it in naked, didn't have anything behind it, just wanted to get that plate stuck up against the, so I at least had leverage so it wouldn't fall, okay? What I did was I, first of all, got this one started. I started to thread this one in with the spacer and I was ready to put it in, okay? Hold on, let me think here. This one right here. So I had it hanging like this. So then, let me think here. Yep, you're right, okay. So then what I did was, as I had that top right one threaded, and I had the bottom left one in, I then eventually made my way over very carefully, and as I came over, I unthreaded this one, and I kept this one held, but as I have the plate dangling over to the right, there's gonna be a hole right here. You wanna hold that back plate in with that hole. So now I'm gonna go to the other side and show you what I'm actually doing behind there, and show you what's actually behind it. Okay, so this is exactly what it's going to look like when you take that unit off. So there's that middle. Here is the, I'm sorry, I have my flashlight in my hand. Give me a second. Here's the middle piece. It's just a little screw. Be very careful taking that out. You'll notice here's that glue. I just took a sharp knife and just slowly let it come off. It's really simple. Before you remove this, again, thread this guy here, top left in this case. I'm on the driver's side now. And then what I did was I took that plate and I let it dangle as if I'm about to, I let it dangle for the right side of the plate, dangle here, and I slowly pushed it over, As I'm doing that, first of all, you need to unscrew this, so we'll just do that on the camera. By the way, before you finish this, remember, you have the internal piece inside here that you need to unthread as well. And this long thing right here, let's push it out. This long thread is going to pop out. It's going to feel weird, but it will pull out. It's going to look exactly like that. So it's going to pull out a little bit weird because it's angled. But what you're going to do is pull that out. Now, the guide will also say, the instructions, if you have any, will also say to just kind of push this, to dangle this in and pretty much get that internally. That washer, this rubber gasket will not come out, so you need to push it in so it's not affecting the plate. But once you have, just promise me this if you're going to do the job. I really would hate to see someone let this plate, there's a thread, I don't know if you see those threads back there, that's just a plate back there, and this is holding that plate there to hold it up. So when this thing is out, you can actually stick your finger in here and kind of hold it up too. So that's what I did, was I eventually took that out as I swung the plate over, and now I had room to put my finger in here, and now I could rethread this one in the top left, and then I was able to install it flush, as you could tell on the other side. So let me just show you what it looks like on the other side. I know some people say, well, that's not the directions, but there's no other way to make this happen, especially if you have the eBay kit. I'm sure if you order the RXP kit, there's going to be a little slab in the middle that's just going to let that, this plate would be thicker, and then in the middle, it would actually have a little spot for that, in the middle there that little screw to be there. But look how flush that is. Completely flush. I have a little spacer there. Really simple. Be extremely careful on the torque you're putting this in. I'm telling you, when you have any torque on that bolt, the bolt in this case, stop. Like, I'm telling you, barely just push any more on it and then pull off, because you do not want to strip anything here. So just be very careful. Take your time. Again, this is what it's going to look like on the internal. So what I did was, first of all, get my finger here, right there. That's going to be attached right here in the middle. Take your time, put some WD-40 on it. It will come off, okay? And what I'm going to do there is, you see on the bottom, there's these two screws right here. Just get a wrench on one side, wrench on the other. I think they're 10s. Just take them right off. And here in a bit, this bottom piece will come right out, and then I'll be able to unthread this, the black piece off of this piece here. And then I'll be able to pull that out on the other side and just continue. So this will be a really easy job. Again, see right here? Okay, look how flush that is. It'll be just fine. So best of luck if you're doing this job.